Smack that, give me some more. Smack that, drop the soap to the floor. Smack that, just suck my toe. Smack that, I'ma make you my hoe. Never go full retard. Never go full retard. Welcome back, everyone. Today we are going to learn how to split booty cheeks with a hot butter knife. We are going to go over how to 1vx and essentially be a better player. I broke this video down into 3 sections: Dueling, IC, and Cyrodiil, to help give you the best information possible on where you need to start and finish. If you're an intermediate player, this could push you pro. If you're a beginner player, this could make you intermediate. So I hope you guys learned a lot from this, and let's get right into the video. Okay, step 1. You guys have to really be in tune with your character's specific playstyles. Knowing your abilities, combinations, and how to essentially burst and survive with your character. A duel is a great place for anyone to start. It helps you become more comfortable with your own character and encounter other classes in the game. And this footage is an example of a Stamsorc, which I'm playing, versus a Magicka sorcerer. When you're in Imperial sewers or Cyrodiil, you're oftentimes going to run into a slew of different classes, and it would behoove you to understand how each of the classes in the game operate, both Stamina and Magicka. If you have someone that can help you out with their different classes and duel against you, it's a great way to be on the right track to knowing how to fight each individual opponent. In that first clip, I died, and a lot of times it'll happen. You'll try to read your opponent, kind of get a feel for them, and then you got to make the adaptive measures. Some people, it's just changing a skill or two, or you might have to change your gear a lot. If you notice a lot of ranged people where you're playing at, then maybe you want to put something like DK wings on to reduce that range incoming damage. Don't be afraid to make a few changes to your gear in order to help better survive the situation. I finally got my revenge. Really good fights. Thank you, Unknown. And we are going to go ahead and move into environmental and terrain. Alright guys, welcome to IC. This area is very great for intermediate players to really start to learn about terrain, situational awareness, and positioning, mobility, etc., etc. Now, I just hopped in here and we're moving around, and I'm going to come around this corner and kind of show you what an open area looks like. Shown here, that's an open area, aka a danger zone. That is a hallway, which is like a mixture of a open and enclosed area. And we're going into an enclosed area. And what you can do here, if you have people pursuing you, is once you break that line of sight and they can't see you anymore, you can set up a burst to knock as many people out as possible. But once you get that burst done, there will probably be people that survive and you will need to move. So your character has very specific abilities or maneuverability to help you get around. Stamsorcs have high speed and streak. Necromancers are extremely tanky and often just eat the damage. Wardens have chicken wings where they can everywhere they want to go. Templars have a lot of cleanses, and they have gap closers, so just depends on what you're using. You'll need to know your class well in order to take advantage of your kiting capabilities. So terrain is very important. You'll have people chasing you, and you'll need to make the best of that terrain. Line of sight is very important. This means if they can't see you, if you can't see them, then you can't take damage for the most part, unless there's some ping issues. But remember, always, 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 and this can be difficult, while you're staying mobile, you need to keep looking for your next best positioning, whether it be in front of you through a hallway or to turn around to a rock behind you. Always keep looking for opportunistic places to put yourself. Let's get into the gameplay of the pursuit. So here I am looking for some nice tasty meat, and someone's balls fly right up inside my ass, and someone's electrocuting my nipples like it's an interrogation session. Once I realize that's happening and I see that there's a few people, I burst the first one down as fast as possible and get up to the high ground, because Obi-Wan told me to. I do as much work as I can. I realized that these players didn't hit very hard, and so I was pretty much able to face tank it. Oftentimes, if you have multiple pursuers, a few of them will fall off, and once you have a few that you can manage, that's usually the opportunity to start putting in your work, using your dueling fundamentals to fight off as many people as you can when the situations turn in your favor. Here's a good example of kiting and fighting. I'll kind of break it down for you. I went in the room, there wasn't a lot of pressure, so I went to go nuke the first dude down as fast as possible. Then there were 3 to 4 blues in there. I went to go back inside, stun the dude, couldn't let him get the res because then I would be outnumbered again. I got a lot of pressure on me. That just means it's time to run. Get around the corner, get away, heal up. When they're getting on you, you just gotta play defensive. Get away, get back in that building, make them come around, make them lose you. And then, like I said before, once you get 1 or 2 pulled off, try to nuke them down like that. See? Okay, got one of them. They're pursuing me again. I need to get out, heal back up. Too much pressure. See, I almost died right here. It was a miracle I didn't, but this isn't very long-lived. Eventually, sometimes you try to move around the terrain and it bites you in the ass. And, well, you can only do what you can do. Alright guys, we are out in Cyrodiil now, the last part. After you become well in tuned with dueling and fighting your opponents and being comfortable with your class, and you've gotten really good at utilizing the multiple terrain areas that IC has to offer, you're ready to go into the big leagues. That is, if the lag doesn't beat you down first. You're going to be way more outnumbered than you probably ever will in IC. There's way less terrain for you to use and manipulate. I'm giving you an example of where a good place to do it is in resources that have the small resource towers, keeps, so are also a really good place, or rocky terrain that has big rocks that you can move around, or to get up in higher elevation. In this clip, I got a bunch of people that for some reason are a little afraid to come after me, but I'm using the thin terrain. They can only come one way, right? And when a few of them pulled off, I decided to take my opportunity to kill a few of them, nuke a couple of them down, and then reassess the situation. Remember, situational awareness is key. Always keep looking for another place to go. Always make sure you know where your opponents are at. Anyway, guys, I hope you learned as much as you possibly could from this. I gave you all the education that I have. Thanks for watching.